And now, weighing in out of the blue corner, Josh the Punk Thompson. 100%. And on the other mic, he weighs in from the red corner, Big Sean McCarthy.
But like I was saying, we're going to go ahead and jump right into a segment that we'll be doing for BetUSTV.com. And we're just basically going to give you guys our breakdown on who we think you guys, if you guys are looking to place bets, not saying where, you know what, but BetUSTV.com has a good area for you. If you guys want, check it all out. There's sports. There's other sports available on there. March Madness just wrapped up, so make sure you guys check them out.
Florida Gators.
Let's go. Oh, God, they killed me, man. Houston had it. Houston had a run of bad luck.
Hold on. You got it from the point where you had your team, Texas Tech, losing that lead to them.
Yeah,
that was what I said. It's almost like they're almost predetermined, predestined to get there. And same thing with Houston. They had him.
Yeah, they had him.
They were 12 points,
something like that. It was horrible, John. It was
In
horrible
the end,
to watch.
did.
I felt bad for Houston.
That lad, come on, the last thing when they had the chance, they're down by 2, and the guy throws the ball, and I was like, "Oh, he's screwed. He can't touch it."
No,
and he was. And I was like, "Oh man, I feel so bad for him."
I don't give a shit if you got to shoot a 3 from fucking outside where Curry shoots it from. Shoot it.
You can't. If you don't shoot it, you're never gonna fucking make it.
Like you had this imaginary 3-point line that you felt like you had to get to shoot the ball, brother. You've been playing basketball since you were fucking barely walking. Like shoot the damn 3 already.
Shoot the rock.
Blew me. Like you have less than 1 second left or 2 seconds left. Like just shoot the rock, man. Oh man. It just not getting a shot off is the worst way to lose. It's like standing there at the bottom of the ninth, 3 strikes, fucking not taking. You're in the World Series, Game 7, and not swinging at the pitch.
Yeah,
fuck, go down swinging, man. Jeez. Yeah.
Michael Jordan always said, man,
it's like watching Michael Chandler fight Charles Oliveira the last fight. Fucking try and get out of the back, please. All right, hey, let's go ahead and go into Diego Lopes. Diego Lopes is a plus 114. The odds have actually wait. Let me refresh this because I want to make sure we're getting you guys the freshest odds on the business. Oh, they actually just changed. Diego Lopes is a plus 105. Alexander Volkanovski is a minus 125. John, I've said this. We've said it all week. We talked about this on the weekend show. I'm taking Diego Lopes at plus 105. I'm taking that. I actually already took it when it was plus 122. I'm taking it again at plus 105 because I know what people are going to do, man. I know they're going to put more money down on him as this thing gets closer. And I'm going to lose that odd. It's going to end up being even money.
You already got it at plus 122. What are you going to go 105 for?
Because I know I want to do more. Because now that I've actually started thinking about it and I've started listening to other people's podcasts and getting their breakdowns, John, I'm easily influenced.
Yes, you are.
I'm that guy. When you start telling me that you believe someone's going to win, I start believing you too. Because people are so good at just convincing me. I mean, like, I'm a schmuck that way. I really believe that this is Diego's time. And this is no knock to Volk. Volk's had an amazing career. He's not done by any means. Like you said, there's guys that get to the top. They sustain it for so long. They may never win another title now after that. Max Holloway may never win another title after this. Volkanovski may never win another title. We never thought it'd be the end of Max Holloway when he lost to Volk. And then we saw the repeat. Then we saw the fight again. And guess what? Volkanovski was still the champion. So I look at this fight and I think to myself, Volk right now is in a worse position than what Max was. Max lost close fights to Volkanovski.
Yeah.
Volk has lost by 2 knockouts, vicious knockouts.
Everything it's so imperative when you look at a fighter and you look at their record and you see where those losses are, and then you see how those losses occurred. There's a huge difference from one loss to the next, and you got to look and understand. He was knocked out, and the brain can only take so much trauma before it starts to break down in its ability to what never hurt it before now hurts it right away.
Yeah.
And it's a tough thing to be in. It's the life of a fighter is not easy. You can go back, let's be honest, Chuck Liddell was always, one of the fan favorite fighters, just a phenomenal guy. And I can tell you, the first time I ever watched Chuck fight was in a kickboxing match. Mm-hmm. And I was like, dude, this guy can take a shot. This guy can take a shot. you know. And then I watched him. He comes to the UFC. It was UFC 17, and he fights a guy named Noe Hernandez that is just known for having heavy hands, and he's a great boxer. And they stood there and slung leather, and man, Chuck took shots that would have knocked a freight train over, and he got the win. And you look and you go, his career was just that. He was able to actually utilize the fact that his chin was so good he could take shots to deliver his, and his were, you know, going to get him the win until that point, that one point. And that was at UFC 71 when Quentin clipped him and hurt him. Was never the same, and it only went downhill from there at that point. And that's all it takes, just that one, you know. And he's had 2 in a row. That's trouble.
Yeah, I mean, you can say the same thing about Vanderlei Silva.
Yeah,
you know, same thing. Vanderlei made a career off of just walking through, fucking just eating people's punches, and delivering big knockout blows himself. You know, Fedor didn't take a lot of shots. I take that back. He wasn't.
Fedor was never that guy that took big, heavy shots. He'd get wobbled. But, you know, you're right. You know, Vanderlei was a guy, you know, but you can go back and look and you go, okay, here's where it started, you know, and it was in Pride. Take a look at the, you know, the last fight that he had in Pride was against Dan Henderson. Mm-hmm. That was a huge knockout. You know, he came to the UFC. He had a great performance against Chuck. He lost it. Yeah. But everything was different.
I would agree. John, you also got Paddy Pimblett at a -145, Michael Chandler at a +122. I'm putting my money down. Obviously, we talked about this a second ago as on Paddy the Batty, baby. I'm putting my money down on Paddy the Batty. I don't feel there's any energy right now left. It's Deflategate all over again for Michael Chandler. He's deflated. There's no more left in him. It's over.
Well, you know, there was a tweet that went out by Michael Chandler where someone said something about, hey man, should I bet the house on you against Paddy? And he said, no. And it's like one of those, it's like, I understand. Yeah, hey, what he's saying is, no, don't ever bet your house, you know, on a fight. That's stupid. You know,
that's not how I read it, John.
Yeah, I know. And that's my point is I know that's, you know, if someone was going to ask him, he's going to say, no one should bet their house. But first off, you don't know that person. He's damn right I'm going to win. Yeah, bet your house. That's the mentality of a person that's going out believing that they're going to win the fight. And you don't see there's little telling things that happen, especially in fight week, that you can look at and you can see, oh, yep, there's a difference in the two. And just that little tweet right there, it says a lot. It really does. You know, it's not Michael Chandler. Again, he has been a phenomenal fighter. He's had a phenomenal career. He's been in some of the most epic fights, you know, and those going back into Bellator with Eddie Alvarez, the ones that he had there were unbelievable. The fights that he's had in the UFC have been unbelievable, but you can only have so many of those before your car is broken. And at this point, I think his car is broken.
Yeah, he's wrecked the Ferrari too many times, man. Yeah. You know, the Porsche's wrecked. It's now VW. That's really what it's come down to. You know, and I mean, look, over is -1.5. Over is 1.5, -175. The under is 1.5 at +146. I think it's going to go over. I think that Paddy's going to have a hard time getting him out of there. If he does get him out of there, it'll be by knockout. It will not be by submission. I think that Chandler is still very difficult to submit. And I've said this repeatedly, like he's only got the one submission against him, and that was done by Dustin Poirier, and was able to catch him. Outside of that, I mean, he's one of those guys that will fight to the bitter end when it comes to submission attacks. He finds ways to get out of it. It's very difficult to get your arms under his chin. Very difficult. He's really good at, you know, fighting out of those. John Fitch-esque, I would say. He's very much like that. I just look at where he's at right now in his career. It's not there anymore. You know, the 1 foot out, the falling out of the Conor McGregor fight. Just it deflates you. It really does kill your momentum and what you feel like you were building. When you lose a fight like that, you were offered that fight. Like, I got to be honest, it's very reminiscent of me being offered the Pettis fight, taking the fight away, and then turning around and fighting Benson and losing that fight and realizing, okay, look, I'm 38 years old or 37 years old, about to be 38. I'm never getting that title shot again. It's very deflating. Done. Like his title fight was Conor McGregor. His red panty night was Conor McGregor. It never happened.
Hold on. Did we not say that fight ain't never going to happen?
No, I agree. We said that, but I'm simply saying he waited as if that was his title fight night.
Well, it was.
That was his night. That was his title fight. That was his UFC title, was the Conor McGregor fight. He didn't look at a title anymore. He looked at Conor McGregor as it was his red panty night.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen. And then he turned around and fought Charles again and lost that fight. And so it's that mentality has switched now. There's nowhere else to go. Doesn't know what to do. Beating Patty doesn't really do much for him. It puts him back on the winning track.
Yeah.
But losing to Patty puts him way back. Yeah. Way back.
He's out of the top 10.
Yeah, he's out of. I think he is out of the top. I don't know if they'll drop him that much. I don't know if they will. They do like him. The UFC does like him.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt they like him.
Yeah, and look, I'm taking Patty at minus 145. You got Jean Silva versus Bryce Mitchell. Jean Silva is a minus 250. Bryce Mitchell is a plus 206. I think this is a pretty fair bet. Like if I was looking at these and I'm saying like these odds right here, it just shows like, hey, I think that it's too rich for me on the Jean Silva because Bryce could get him down. It could get the submission. And I haven't seen a big enough sample size of Jean Silva on the ground. Yeah, I'm probably avoiding that.
I agree with you. That's one of those. If I was going to put money, it would be very little on Bryce Mitchell because I'm going to go with the fact that he could submit him, he could get him, but will he? I honestly I don't. I doubt it.
Yeah, I would agree. The over on it though is 2.5 at plus 135, so they don't believe it's going to go the distance. Either Jean Silva is going to finish him, or Bryce Mitchell is going to finish him because under 160 is the under 2.5. Yeah. So Dominic Reyes is the dog, John. Is the dog at plus 154 and Krylov is a minus 185.
See? So there you go. There's your fight. I said Krylov, dude, he's fought great competition.
What does that have to do with me?
You're sitting there going fucking crazy about Dom.
I'm talking about.
You're talking nothing.
I'm telling you right now what I think is king. And right now, plus 154, I'm snatching that up and I'm taking that all the way to the bank, baby. I'm taking that. There's no way Dominic Reyes is, first off, he's a problem for everyone because of his height, his reach. He's also very aggressive. He's a skillful fighter, very tough to take down. Not that Krylov, I think, would try to take him down. I just think that in this position, Dominic Reyes is fought the who's who. He's come up short on those guys against John Jones, but he also understands a couple of wins. Now my confidence is there. I'm going to get this one back. I'm going to take Dominic Reyes at plus 154 for sure.
Okay. I understand. It's a good call.
Patricio Pitbull is a plus 162. Yair Rodríguez is a minus 195.
I would take that one just off of pure
homerism.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah. Pure homer. I'll go with Pitbull.
I look, first off, I don't bet on my friends. You guys all know that. If you guys listen to our pod, you know I do not bet on my friends. I've trained with Patricio. I fought his brother. They've been to my gym several times to train. I just can't do it. I can't do it. Even if look, I called out when Charles Oliveira was fighting Islam, how it was going to happen, when it was going to happen, and how the submission was. Still didn't bet on him. I could have cashed out. Could have made big money. Big money. Big drama show. Big drama show. Huge. But John, this is the fight though that I think if you're looking like, if I'm looking for someone that I want to go ahead and throw this down on, I'm saying the Xiaonan fight. She's a plus 122 against Jandiroba. Is a minus 145. I'm taking Jan 100%. Yes.
Jan's the plus in that.
Because this is where my rationale comes from. Every time I watch Jandiroba fight, she's good if she can get the takedown. But once she's been stuffed a couple times, she just becomes real like lethargic when she's trying to get her takedowns. She's very sloppy with the takedowns after that. She kind of just lumbers forward with like really horrible striking. You can't afford to do that with Jan. Jan is someone that comes in phenomenal shape. Her jiu-jitsu now has gotten good enough to stop submission attacks, and she's found ways to get back. I think she'll have a hard time against Jandiroba on getting back up to her feet. But I do believe that her wrestling takedown defense has gotten good enough to stop Jandiroba from taking her down, especially as they get a little sweatier.
Obviously, the odds maker are looking at it like, well, the way to beat Jan is with submission. And Jandiroba is fantastic with it, but I agree with you. I look at it and I think Jandiroba doesn't have a great takedown game. She uses a lot of, she drags people down by, getting on, attached to them and stuff. I just look at it, I think that Jan is she's the superior fighter everywhere other than the submission game, but she's good there. Yep. So I would go with Jan.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Jan only based on the fact, like I know Jandiroba's fought better, not better, but she's fought really high level competition, but Jan's fought the best. And look, overall, I know she came up short, but I'm simply saying like that. Have you seen, I've seen a better Jan after that fight.
Oh yeah.
She's been a better fighter after that. She's fighting with more confidence. She's also made the tweaks to her game. Didn't change too much. I think she's got the remedy to really stuff Jandiroba in this fight. The last one we're going to chat about is Chase Hooper is a minus 900, John. Minus 900 against Jim Miller at a plus 575.
Well, I would take Jim Miller at plus 575 because he can win the fight. I'm not saying that I think that he's the favorite in it, which obviously the odds makers don't think so either. But yeah, this is one of those you look and you go, like, Jim Miller's got so much experience. He's so tough. If he can just hang with Chase Hooper throughout the first round, that's a biggie.
Mm-hmm.
Get through the first round and then start lighting him up, turn it on. He's got all the skills to win that fight. So at that kind, you can't go with Hooper. Anybody that bets on Hooper is crazy.
Yeah.
There's too much of a chance you could lose that.
Yeah. The other thing, though, I would probably maybe even swing the other way. You can go under at 1.5 at plus 142, or you can go over 1.5 at minus 170. I mean, there's ways to look at it. I mean, like, look, if Jim's going to lose, I think he's going to lose by submission.
Yeah.
And if Miller's going to win, he's going to win, I think, by knockout or TKO. Whatever, ground and pound, game finish, whatever it is. Yep. I mean, that fight's like, no matter what, like when you have someone that is a plus 575 against someone who's a minus 900, just throw a little down. It doesn't have to be a lot. Just take a chance. Like, whatever. I'm going to put this down here. I'm going to put this right here.
Just a little bit.
Maybe put this much right here. See this? Maybe put that much. Maybe double it up if you feel good. You know what I mean? So, I mean, those are just ways to try and capitalize. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this quick little episode that we just did real quick. We just crammed it all in real quick because we want to make sure you guys just can go right to this part of the show. BetUSTV.com. Go ahead and check out all their sports. They got tons of sports on their channel there at BetUSTV.com.